All right, guys. Today we're diving into a courtroom clash that's more than just numbers. It's about trust, betrayal, and the consequences of moving on too fast. The moment Cruz walks in, you can feel the tension. He's calm, maybe a little too calm for someone who's about to plead for a child support reduction. The judge isn't playing. She demands facts, not feelings. Right off the bat, we learn Cruz has remarried, has a new baby, and wants relief from his original obligation. But here's the kicker. He's still pulling in over $7,000 a month. The judge's face says it all. This won't be an easy sell. And when he tries to brush off his previous income like it's irrelevant, the courtroom temperature drops. If you thought this was just another request for leniency, think again.
BB1085, Campbell case.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, ladies, you may be seated. I'm Judge Brian D. Woodard, and ma'am, you brought this case before me. Matter of fact, before I get started on anything, I see your both last names are Campbell.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken. So what is your first name?
Kelly Campbell.
Kelly Campbell.
Yes.
And you, ma'am?
I'm Rochelle, but you can call me Ro.
Okay, Rowan and
Kelly.
Kelly, okay. Kelly Rowan, let me go there, because if I forget it, because Rowan Kelly. All right, so let's get started. So go ahead and tell me about this.
My name is Kelly Campbell, the best project manager the city has to offer. I brought my cousin to court because she's attempting to want to get involved in her son's life all of a sudden. But her choices, they're poor. She has childish behavior and she's not taking care of her responsibilities. Simple.
She's not taking care of her responsibilities. Does she have children with you or living with you or?
She has a son, 6 years old.
6 years old?
Yes.
And so what makes her childish?
She's just,
girl,
she
I'm
wanna be in
grown.
these streets. She's
Girl,
from
Hold
grown.
on one second. We're gonna get to that
I'm
part.
real grown.
Okay, Miss Grown. One thing about it is grown people don't have to tell other grown people that they're grown. So just wait till I get to you and then we're gonna go ahead and get this train moving. But I'm gonna get to you.
Yes, sir.
Miss Rowe. Yeah, R-O, really obvious. All right, let's go.
If
Let's
you
go.
could change the R to a H. But the point, what I'm saying is,
We're not going there, but go ahead. I'm just
I
gonna go ahead and over like
Emotions
that.
are
I
hot.
understand, but let's go ahead and get to business.
she's childish because she chooses to mix up her priorities.
Okay.
It's not flying, Your Honor. Her child, you know it's about 105 degrees. She has no AC. She has a gym fan circulating in the home.
The
How is
window
hot
was
air-
cracked.
Hold
The
on.
window was cracked.
Ladies, let me go ahead and get something straight right here because I just wanted this to go smoothly. And I know how ladies are sometimes. Y'all like to talk and get your point across, and you're going to be heard. I promise you're going to be heard. But being heard this way, it's not going to fly. So let's go ahead and continue without any interruptions. Ms. Rowe,
Got it.
when it's time for you to go, I will go back to you, Ms. Rowe.
Yes.
But for right now, please keep quiet. Can we do that? Let's get this show back on the road.
Thank you, because she's rude.
I didn't ask about what she is.
Rude.
I'm just asking you to go ahead and continue
That-
to tell me what you're gonna
I
do.
stand corrected.
Oh,
Your
yes,
Honor.
ma'am. Let's go.
I apologize. As I mentioned, her 6-year-old is in very poor conditions.
Original clip timeline 0352. 0642 buckle up, guys, because in this part, Cruz starts playing with fire, and Judge Vonda B isn't having it. He claims his circumstances have changed, but conveniently forgets that child support isn't based on convenience, it's based on obligation. The judge presses harder. Where's the proof? Cruz stutters through his explanation, mentioning a PAEO, new job and reduced income, but can't back it up with clear numbers. Then comes the real twist. He took a lower-paying job voluntarily. That's right, he chose to earn less. That's when the judge's tone shifts from curious to critical. She calls out the elephant in the room. You can't create your own hardship and expect sympathy from the court.
Circulating hot air with hot air is not going to fly. As I mentioned, the temperatures are high. She leaves a bowl of noodles, chicken flavor, for her son, Capri Suns that aren't refrigerated. The child is so behind educationally, all he know how to do is whoa. It's just a lot going on. I don't like it, and I am going to be the provider for her child. And that's it, point blank.
Okay. And Miss Campbell, what are you actually asking for before I go further into this?
Honestly, I want the full custody of her child, Caleb.
Okay.
And I would like her to pay me since she wants other men to pay her. But that's what I'm asking.
Okay.
Yes.
Is there anything else you would like to tell me before I move on to Miss Rose?
I want you to see that she's truly childish, lax.
I didn't ask for insults. I said, is there anything that you want to tell me?
I didn't know that was an insult. It's really factual. No, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, see, this is gonna be a challenge. Whew, don't you know? Miss Rowe, let's go. Continue this show.
Thank you, Judge. Okay, so they keep saying I'm crazy, right? They took my baby from me and gave it to her because I had a little date. I spent the block. I left him at the house by
You spent the
himself.
what?
The block. We went to Perry's. Me and his, he was tall, dark, and handsome. But I was gonna bring him a pork chop special back. So I went on this little date, left him at the house by himself. I gave him some noodles, a Capri Sun, and they call themselves saying, oh, you can't leave the baby at the house by himself. I'm like, look, he was good. It was just for like 2 hours. I was gonna be right back, and I was gonna bring him back.
Wait a minute, how long?
Like 2 hours.
2
We had
hours.
reservations, so we was gonna get right in.
So you made reservations and you left your child with her for just 2 hours. Was it just for that night,
It
or
was
it?
not 2 hours, Your Honor. It was 6
Okay.
hours
All
plus 2 bonus hours because
Okay.
she wanted to have a
All
rendezvous.
right, hold on a second. Okay, continue this. Yeah, this
Thank
is
you.
initial.
No
I really want to hear this one.
She think 'cause she got a pool.
Well,
in her
I ain't
backyard.
worried about that. Let's get to the facts.
Okay,
Go ahead.
sorry. So I spent the block, ran to the Bears with the fella, you know what I'm saying? He was far. Okay. So look, I'm trying to get him a stepdad.
All right, here's where things get real. Cruz tries to pivot, saying he didn't know the child support calculation included bonuses. The judge is visibly stunned. This isn't a rookie mistake, it's either ignorance or evasion. Either way, it doesn't look good. She clarifies that bonuses count as income, period. Cruz fumbles, clearly unprepared, and it's obvious he never took the time to understand how child support works. When she breaks down the math, Cruz's face drops. He suddenly realizes he's been underpaying, not overpaying. The courtroom air thickens. He came in asking for relief, but now he might end up owing more. This part isn't just a misstep, it's a full-on reality check, and the judge delivers it with zero sugarcoating.
I was gonna bring him back a pork chop special. Have you had one of them Perry's pork?
You trying to get a
It's like
stepdaddy?
this big.
Listen,
It's-
you're trying to go and get a stepdaddy
For the
with
baby.
for a pork chop with a pork chop. Is
I
that
was
how?
gonna bring him the pork chop bag.
And so you expect him to be stepdaddy because you brought him to bringing the pork chop because you bring. I want him to be
I'm
my
bringing the
stepdaddy.
baby.
So maybe if I give him a pork chop, he gonna be my.
I'll bring the baby back a pork chop.
Oh, the baby, you bring the baby a pork
I
chop,
went on
not the
date.
man a pork chop.
No, the man was gonna buy the baby a pork chop.
Okay.
That's how I'm
Sodium.
taking care of him.
Hold on one second. Hold on one second, man.
So me and the man went out to dinner. I get back, they all, you're not supposed to leave your baby here, this and this and this. I'm like, he's 6 years old. He got some noodles. He got a couple of Capri Suns. I cracked the window, the fan was on, so he was good. They say I'm unfit. You know, I
Hold on
I
one second.
fight a couple people, bust a few windows, plant some tires, and they think that I can't. that
Ma'am, you cannot be serious right now.
Dead.
Are you really serious right now? Number one, you're talking about what? First of all, let me say this. How hot is it outside right now?
105. That's the
Yeah,
car.
hold on. I'm asking her because you already at 105 because you're already talking. You heated up, and I understand.
I'm sorry, I'm
Yes,
passionate.
how hot is it outside? Right?
Well, that day it was, cause we went at night.
I
So,
didn't
it cooled down
ask
a
whether
little
you
bit.
went at night or anything, because it's still hot at night as well too.
I mean, about 80, 90, you know, it cooled down. But he had a fan.
And you got a fan. You gave the child a fan in the car.
I cracked the window.
You cracked it. So what is this child, a dog?
No, Caleb, he's a human.
But it's hot outside and you're going to give the child a fan. And then what
And
else?
Capri Sun.
And a Capri Sun.
Too.
Now let me ask you something. Would you want a hot car or a hot environment and somebody give you a Capri Sun?
No, I was at Perry.
You know what? Sometimes you just don't have the words to say. And I guess this is one of those times where, Lord have mercy, I do not have the words to say. Now this lady right here, Miss What'd you say your first name was again?
Kelly with a capital K.
Miss Kelly with the capital K.
The best project
Okay,
manager.
I didn't ask if you was the best or the worst because you have no proof to tell me if you did right or wrong. It comes to those project managers or whatever else you say. You don't have to build the words up to me. Okay, but if you don't want to be done that way, why do you think that it's okay to let a child sit like that and treat him like that?
For 2 hours.
It doesn't matter, but I say, would you want that done?
No, I mean, but sometimes we gotta go through stuff.
12:14. This part is a masterclass in accountability. Cruz tries to bring up his new wife and baby again, hoping it might gain sympathy. But Judge Vonda B is laser focused. She reminds him that child support is for the child from the previous relationship. His new responsibilities don't erase the old ones. Then comes the bombshell. He hasn't been consistent with payments. Some months he paid, some months he didn't. That's all the judge needs to hear. The tone shifts again. Now it's about consequences. Cruz wanted a reduction, but what he's facing now is a recalculation and not in his favor. The courtroom feels colder now. You can tell, this isn't going the way he hoped. He came to plead, but what he's getting is a reckoning.
Get to the bigger picture, and I was working on this.
It looked like you got to the bigger picture with Paris.
I did, and that's when you know the baby was gonna come with me on
yeah, I see. Okay.
Setting him up.
All right. Miss Rowe, how much do you make how much you make a year?
I make 65.
65,000 a year. Doing what again?
I work for insurance.
Insurance. And insurance, yeah, just call
But
somebody
I'm
else.
trying to bag a ball.
All right, so before I do anything else, quick question, because I almost forgot. So who pays the health insurance for this child?
I do.
Okay, both of y'all can't say that at the same time. So
I'm the mama.
I pay. It comes out of my check, $350.
I love my baby.
if you know, all you've been talking about is pork chops.
Your Honor,
I can tell you probably been eating a lot of pork chops. Yes, ma'am. Can you do what?
She says she loves her baby. Yeah. The only time she comes around is December the 31st to get his social so she can file him on the taxes. She's trying to get a come up. A come up. She lies, Judge. She puts 8 dependents. She got 1 kid.
And so you're paying they're paying you obviously $65,000 for your income. Are you paying your cousin anything for keeping this child and taking care of this child?
What I'm paying for?
She barely will give me the food stamp. She get $1,500 in the food
Okay,
stamp.
I see where this is going now,
want my
man.
baby back.
Okay, yeah, there's everything. You think the world just revolves around you because I cannot believe what I'm hearing right now. So this is what we're going to do. And it's obviously that, yeah, you are going to be paying something. I mean, you make $65,000 a year.
Barely.
Okay, so how long have you had the child? What's his name? Caleb.
Caleb, correct. Caleb has been with us about 1.5 years.
A year and a half.
Yes, because thank God they did a welfare check.
And you haven't received anything for a year and a half.
Absolutely not, but sorry, excuses.
Hold on. This is not here to insult. I'm just asking questions. A year and a half, you haven't received anything.
Barely.
Okay, obviously this child is going to need to be taken care of because, you know, everything in life is just ain't free. You just can't drop your child off and let somebody else take care of it.
I didn't drop him off.
She's taking care of your child.
I want him back.
She's taking care of. Okay, so how come you just now coming to court and saying that you just want him back? What happened to the past year?
Original clip timeline 12/14, 15/31. This part is all about hard truths. Judge Vonda B calls out Cruz for financial negligence, especially when it comes to reporting his actual income. His casual attitude toward child support calculations backfires completely. She makes it clear, this court deals with facts, not feelings. Then she drops a sharp reminder. Supporting a new family doesn't lessen your duty to your first child. Cruz tries to defend himself, but he's cornered. Every excuse is met with hard logic. You can see his confidence unraveling, replaced by quiet panic. The judge is done pulling punches. Her job isn't to feel bad for him, it's to protect the child who's been shortchanged. By now, even Cruz realizes he's not winning this.
I've been saying I want him back. She keep dragging me through the mud.
Dragging you through the
I'm unfit. I'm very fit. I go to
Ma'am,
the
I'm just going to say this. When you're talking about caviar and stuff like that, obviously you have other reasons. So this is what we're going to do. So you're...
fit.
Are you? Judge, if you didn't
hold
have the
on, ladies, hold on. Because we're not going to go there. Y'all sound like my family during Christmas time. So, Miss Ro Campbell,
Yes.
You see, you make $65,000 a year, okay? You paying by your cousin $350. Your gross is $5,417, and 20% of that, with your net, is $4,401.57. Your high rim, 100 plus. We're gonna add that $163 to it. So basically, you got to pay something. You can't just let your cousin take care of all the business while you're thinking all high and mighty with pork chops and caviar. Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, before we get to that, let me go ahead and get this before I forget about it. So, yes, you're going to pay, okay? And the thing is, you're going to pay $1,043 flat. Nothing more, nothing less. But you need to be at home with if you wanted your child back so bad, it shouldn't have taken this long. Okay, you shouldn't be out there with the man eating pork chops and caviar while she's up there taking care of your child and not getting a dime. Am I mistaken about that?
None of the coins, silver or copper.
So before you have anything else to say, that is my decision. This case is over with. This is adjourned. You have my answer. All right, ladies, you may be excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Right. This is the final blow. Judge Vonda B. delivers the verdict like a gavel to the gut. Not only is Cruz's request denied, but he's now facing a full recalculation based on accurate income, and it's more than he was paying before. You can see it hit him like a truck. He walked in trying to lower his obligation, but left with a higher one and a firm reminder that child support is not optional. The judge's final words land with weight. Children don't stop needing support just because your life changes. This is justice, raw and unfiltered. Cruz got a lesson today, one that many try to ignore. If you step into this courtroom, you better come correct. Because the law doesn't care about excuses, it deals in responsibility.